win this, you're straight back in it. You can even out the series, and suddenly, maybe you can just gain some momentum with some picks that, again, show their creativity. They're willing to pick some of these heroes that we haven't seen in a long time, put them on unconventional roles, and swap them around just to get something that hopefully is a stronger early game. Like, that's what this type of drafting is designed to do, get you in a position where your lanes go better off your core matchups, they're more sustainable, and the supports can hopefully counteract that gameplay around mid that we saw be devastating in Game 1. I think they're in a better position to do it.
We start off Game 1 talking about storylines, and for me, I guess one of the storylines of these two teams is Gaimin Gladiators. We've already talked about how they've been the most consistent team in Dota 2 for a really, really long time. I mean, their performance this year, incredibly impressive, not really to be matched by many other teams throughout Dota's history. And Azure Ray within this tournament, I feel like they have shown a lot of inconsistency. Because that last game and their matchup in the upper bracket finals and one or two other games, I look at them and I'm just like, this is not the team that I got excited about watching them in this tournament. Some games in this tournament, I watched them and I was like, damn, these guys are really good.
Because I think their strength is the team fight spellcasting. Like, to me, that's how I think of Jinq. I think he's a driving force of this team in a lot of their victories. That's their strength, but they have to be able to get there, right? I mean, your spellcasting doesn't do shit when you're down 30k gold. It's just a fact of life. So they have to find a way to get there. If they do, though, I think the series is a lot closer than it seemed in the Game 1. And you also have to remember, this org, this team, it's a younger version of a lot of these Chinese teams we've seen, right?
Yeah.
Like, Azure Ray is not one of these old school orgs. They're willing to experiment, try different things. They had pretty decent success at TI. Now they're back here in another final. Something is working for them that has been able to make their players gel and perform at a high capacity. Can't underestimate that.
Speaking of being in another finals, their off-lane duo, they've also been in a couple of grand finals there. Jinq, last famously in that grand final in Arlington Major, up against Spirit. And just last year, in fact, here in Malaysia, XXS was also in the grand finals with Team Aster when they went up against another Western European team in OG. Ace,
he's gonna
come in, he commits. That is going to be the second time they get baited into going for a kill underneath tower and forfeiting their life. And this time around, they actually do give away the first blood, unlike last time where XXS bailed them out.
That's a bad kill to give away. Like, you're winning this lane. You're in a really good position. This is an Abaddon safe lane that, in theory, like, Lowe's untouchable here, I think. It's very hard for them to commit on the all-in when Bench has spells.
Oh, and they do manage to get the kill again in lane.
Yep, once more, the side lane's going pretty well at the start for Azure Ray. They're playing aggressive, finding kills. Yeah, you give up the first blood bottom, but Lowe is still free farming down here. I think the cores are a lot happier this time around, and of course, XM having an even trade with Quinn so far is...
Shackle shot not gonna land. XXS has got to get run down here.
Well, you didn't get the Slark stack, so...
Yeah, that's true. Celery is the one to take the last hit. Running down low, though. It's the kill combination where the Aphotic Shield may not be enough at level 1. He's going to turn around and hit Tofu a little bit, see if they can trade out kills. Yeonming is going to stick around and see if he can get it. With Magic Missile leveled up. Oh no, he's been baited again, hasn't he? Oh, the blood grenade! Oh, he missed last time on the Fire Spirits. He missed this time on the blood grenade. Yeonming is getting absolutely outplayed by Tofu again and again.
I mean, some of that's outplay, some of it is just, you know, slipping on your own. But hand appeal to some degree. These are mistakes that did not need to happen. They were not really forced. I think this lane should be going better for Azure Ray, maybe feeling some of the pressure right now as small differences make a large difference in the mid game, and that is a lot of extra gold for Tofu here, who we've seen pop off on the Grimstroke in particular. He's gonna have a very fast timing on Arcane Boots if he wants it, or some other mana sustain item, help the other cores on the map. What I thought was gonna be a pretty decent early lane phase for Azure Ray is turning out to be kind of just a bloodbath, right?
Yeah.
Trades all around, extra gold going into Gaimin's pocket.
Mid isn't going as well as I would have expected. Quinn up 22, now 23-2 against XM, who has failed to get a deny in lane.
There's only so much you can do versus a fake hero, but that's life. I do expect this to be fine for XM over the course of the next minutes, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're a Slardar in a melee versus melee matchup sitting in the river the whole time.
He's going to do fine, and then it's about contesting the runes. And he should be in a decent position to contest that with the extra regen here. Should out-trade Quinn over the long run. Again, another reason I thought these lanes were going to go pretty well for Azure Ray, because, I mean, your cores are pretty self-sustaining. Like, they all have regen components. They can all play a little independent. They all have decent kill threat and setup.
Yeah.
Water rune contest will go to the Slaughter.
What do you think about the Abaddon's skill build, by the way? Because one of the things they changed about Abaddon is that they gave him damage when he actually gets to the 4 hits of Curse of Avernus, but he's opted not to level it at all. In fact, instead of, I would have expected, 0-4-4, he actually went for the level of Miscoil.
Maybe they're just trying to, I think it was a product of trying to get the early kills on the lane. Another reason if those went their way, Low would be a lot happier, right?
Yeah.
And that trade where Low died, that's another exchange where if the early kill goes Jian Ming's way, then that's a very different exchange as well, because he was level 1 for that entire time. These are the small differences that Gaimin used to pull ahead. Dyrachyo looking with Orb of Corrosion already up. Have to get aggressive.
Grabs him. Oh, nice shackle shot. Turnaround there from Jin-Q. Going to slow down Dyrachyo quite a bit here. Fortunately, Frostbite. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Low's going to get run down. The kill duo of Gaimin Gladiators succeeds once again, where Azure Ray and their off lane failed to find the kill.
These are tough deaths for Low. I did not expect, I mean, this is a very high kill lane in Grim Primal, but as long as you have Magic Missile up, I think you can disjoint the trample, create some space, get an Aphotic Shield off.
TP rotation coming in, much needed. XM was being hunted down by the rotation from Celery.
This is all setting up for that 6-minute power rune, and you get the regen trades now, you're going to win that fight later. Teleport out of Jin-Q is going to cost him a lot of mana here, as he's just running around now with one power shot. Tough position to be in, doesn't want to go to base either. And no bottle refill for XM here in the early game as the supports are just dedicated to the side lanes. Feels like it's going to be a rune going into Quinn's pocket.
Yeah, considering the resources, unless he gets a little bit lucky, we'll see. Yeah, both supports are rotating over. They're going to ensure it. 6-minute power rune.
Yeah, they just
to Quinn on the Pango. I've seen this story a few times before, Avery, and it does not bode well for the opposing team.
Regen, that's okay. That's like one of the better ones to concede. It's not a haste, it's not an amp damage, it's not a shield or arcane. Probably would wish for that or illusion rune, I guess.
Yeah.
So the gank potential, it doesn't get increased here for Quinn, though. His efficiency on the map will. They're going to look towards Dyrachyo again.
Dark Pact was used at the right time, so the damage a little bit limited, but
they've created a decent amount of pressure on the Slark, and this Doom Slark matchup is no longer Slark favored, right? You remove all the healing off the hero regardless of whether you see him or not. It used to be the other way around. So I'm interested to see how this matchup progresses for XXS. However, he is going to be the recipient of that.
Yeah, he won't get to see that level 6 advantage. Shield Crash does hop over the Doom. Not that it matters too much, I don't think. Oh, power shot almost clipped him there on Dyrachyo. He would have actually maybe died if that was the case.
That was a lot closer than it seemed, and I think closer than Jin-Q thought it was going to be, because he has pretty high resources. He could have joined that, maybe turn it around on the Slark.
And instead, he opts to just throw the power shot and then make a run for the Wisdom Rune.
Can't blame him.
Once again, it does seem like Gaimin Gladiators have just a better time of making rotations. They're a lot more successful in these moves.
It's a very even early game, but it does feel like they're getting slightly better trades. We're also seeing XM, he's in a much better position than he was game 1, but he's struggling to make this move. Like, he's lingering around bottom. They just have a ward sitting on him. And it's like, by now, you gotta know it, right?
Yeah.
There's just no play here, so he's just gonna swing back to mid. Now these moves aren't too costly for Slaughter. He just plays in the river.
True.
But it's another game where he's struggled to find the early action as
soon as he leaves, they make the play to kill Low.
That's very frustrating, right? Especially, I mean, look at this Abaddon's XP, man. That is a kill that really hurts as he is so close to 6. What you wouldn't do to have a borrow time there.
Again, 8-minute power rune, no chance in hell for XM to secure it. And now it's a shield rune for Quinn.
Just gaming him MO. Bring the support, secure the runes, secure the side lane skirmishes. Dyrachyo hits 6 top. So he had the one early death, but able to get out of that pressure lane pretty decently here. And has just out-leveled XXS with the early rotation from Quinn.
Yeah.
So all these cores from Gaimin are going to have their ults up ahead of Azure Rays.
The second smoke. Behind on Quinn.
This is brutal for XXS. He gets caught on the
yeah, they're going to run him down underneath the triangle. They didn't even go through the lane. They found him thanks to their wards sitting there. And they're going to chain out all these disables. Now, they are going to get caught in the process here. XM He can find potentially a lot here. They're going to use that Rolling Thunder, though, and Dyrachio is actually going to connect. This is not the easiest or fastest kills on these supports, and the Rolling Thunder makes things a whole lot messier. Tofu managed to survive through it. Has to miss up high ground, and the power shot doesn't land either. Nothing is going right for Azure Ray when it comes to these fights. Dyrachio's going to keep it going. He's got win run on Q, so
he's very aggressive.
He maybe is not going to be okay. XXS is back, but he's not level 6, so not that much of a threat.
This was XM backing off. Just doesn't think they're going to dive as support. Dyrachio says, nope. I'm going to claim another stack here. 3 up for the Slark, and a 3rd death for XXS. That's 3 deaths on both of Azure Ray's side lane cores in under 10 minutes. That is ridiculous.
These wards are way too valuable on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Time and time again, they are either ruining ganks or finding kills, and Azure Ray are struggling to be able to keep up. Now, they do manage to get a return kill on a support core for support.
That'll open up the swap, which, again, a lot of these plays, they just haven't had access to the ults. No borrow time on that bottom kill, no Doom in this top fight. You're missing the swap for that save.
Open for a bottom power rune, luck placed against Azure Ray.
Oh, that's a good one.
This time an amplified damage for Quinn.
He is closing in on Diffusal. He's 100 gold off. This Pango is mega farmed, man. Seems like no matter how this hero gets changed, Quinn will find a way to make it obnoxious.
Well, at this point, it looks like XM, he just needs to sit back and find his Blink Dagger, because these fights have been rough.
And adding insult to injury with the uphill miss here, right?
Yeah.
Just can't catch a break sometimes.
One swing, it misses.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now that's insult to injury for sure. Play that after every team fight, you're gonna have some angry fans. Yeah, Tofu feeling himself. Theme of this tournament is fate, so why not play to the luck of the cards?
3-11, 3,000 net worth lead for Gaimin Gladiators as they begin to pressure some towers. Azure Ray, it seems like they're going to play a little bit of a slower approach to things. Actually abandon the bottom lane, bring more numbers up the top, and let Q just collect whatever creeps push in mid.
They're going to trade towers. This is not a very great tower trade, though, and it's very efficient for Gaimin because they're using that amp damage to heal half the tower right off the bat. They rotate Ace in. Early Veil for him on the Primal as well, worth noting. Buffing up all the spell damage from their lineup, which is significant here.
Quinn not really afraid of a turnaround.
They even want to defend top, so Gaimin wants to do everything here.
They're going to try and get a catch here. It's going to be XXS, the Doom. In some trouble. Aphotic Shield clears them a little bit. They do an early swap here, and they're going to turn around and Doom up the Primal Beast. They're going to go for this kill, but Celery, he can protect it with a beautiful freezing field. Oh, he's going to make a run for it. Low, he pops his ultimate. Celery immediately disengages on him. Low, it means he doesn't actually get that much of a heal. He barely gets the Crystal Maiden kill. Yes, the Primal Beast, meanwhile, ticking down, 1 tick away. A power shot that lands, a much-needed long-range shot. Q gives them hope to Azure Ray.
That is a shot from hell right there. Yeah, they needed it, right? And that is also the loudest this crowd has been, so just waiting for something to cheer for, something to get the morale back for this team right now. And perhaps that is it. This team's best playmaker has been Q the entire tournament. If there's ever a time and a hero to step up on, it's probably Wind Ranger. A spellcaster's dream if you can land the shackles and the power shots.
Yeah, especially since his partner, who's usually also setting a lot of a pace in XXS, he's playing a Doom. He's going to go the typical Hanamitis. He's just going to farm and try and get to that big level 20 Doom with like 3 or 4 items.
Quinn is just taking so much of the map right now. Like, he's just hitting another tier 1 down for free.
And is there any punish possible here? Q doesn't hit him. Okay, there's the Grimstroke behind. That's going to cause some problems to the Inkswell. It's going to do a lot of damage, and the Rolling Thunder almost finishes off the Wind Ranger by itself. The Swashbuckle will do the trick. And yeah, okay, not only did you fail to actually get that kill, but you're still giving up that tower as well. Gaimin Gladiators bring force. Again, Dyrachio always there just to make sure that they have enough numbers for these objectives.
Disjointed play from Azure Ray. No way around it. Like, if you have heroes there, maybe Quinn dies, you get an amp on him. This Focus Fire can do some serious damage even without items. Just the stats on the Wind Ranger are going to push it up. But XM's not there. He was getting his blink off the courier. Just a little rushed, a little out of time. And once more, we are sitting here asking, where is Azure Ray mid-impact, right?
Yep.
You have to get this guy in the game. It's been the key to their success all tournament. Have to activate XM pretty much right here, right now in the next few minutes. I mean, this is your Blink Slardar timing. You're not going to farm a lot on the map compared to these other heroes, so you got to start finding the fights, finding the kills.
You got another timing here with the diffusal blade almost done. They jump forward, baiting out the rune. Is this going to be enough? A swap back magic missile. The Inkswell does cause some issues, but a beautiful shackle shot actually lines up another kill. Jin Q might have just opened the door for a kill on a Tofu. With the physical damage, the bash will do so much to him.
Jin Q in the right place at the right time, and finally some of these heroes are combining.
The playmaker arrives, and XM will take full advantage of this space that Jin Q just made. Tries to go for another support pick off here, but there is Ace, a bit of a problem here. Beautiful crush, and Celery does eventually die, but Ace turns around and gets that kill onto the Slardar. Now the TP rotation from Dyrachyo as he looks for another. It's going to be Tianming left behind, and Jin Q, he does manage to get the TP away.
Finally, though, you get XM activated a little bit, right? You force a reaction out of Gaimin instead of them forcing it out of you all the time and create space for your other cores. And it'll be a diffusal for low to match the diffusal out from the 2 cores on Gaimin. Interesting idea here. I mean, you get some extra slow, you get some mana burn going through. I can see the damage adding up between that and the new passive.
Fuse the blade, already being put to use by one of the cores. Dyrachyo shows up, have a bit of poke. Kind of just his MO. He likes forcing reactions out of the enemy team.
And this is his time to do it too. 15 minutes hits, so you have 5 minutes of nighttime here to play around to D-ward. Know when they can see you and when they can't. Did not see the shackle
Dark
coming.
Pact, but XXS is coming in. And it doesn't even need it. That is just fantastic for Azure Ray. They didn't even throw out the Doom. XXS actually made the correct call there and just said, we've got enough heroes. Dyrachyo is way overextended.
He did not have ult. The earlier poke on low backfires here, and Jin Q finds another opening. But
they will run over Jin Q. Yes, Azure Ray are here with some numbers. May still be able to defend this tower.
What a fast Shiva is coming out from Ace. This is the capability you can have on this hero now, and they really want to fight this anyway? Yeah.
They swap it back in, they want Ace. And here comes the Rolling Thunder with the Inkswell. Only doing so much damage. Good soulbind though, with Quinn still backing in. This Primal Beast is going to get back to the fountain and might actually survive. He's not going to heal up. Meanwhile, the Vengeful Spirit is going to be targeted. Aphotic Shield actually gets rid of the Ghost, stays alive, but Swashbuckle doesn't quite land. Tianming does manage to sidestep that one just in time, but another time that they doom up the Primal Beast but cannot deliver the finishing blow.
Not enough damage. Early Shiva's preventing so much of it going through there, and I mean, you used all your stuns to try and get the damage out, so just head to the fountain. Quinn's just having free fights. That's the downside here, right? It's another one of those games that feels like you wish you could doom all 3 cores. Yeah, but you're gonna have to pick your poison. And every time you lose one of these small skirmishes, Dyrachyo is killing your map in terms of the dewarding action. Finds another obs on this cliff.
I feel like in some ways the Primal Beast is maybe the... I don't know if I want to see that Doom on him anymore, you know? Because it feels like he just has too much HP, he's not actually going to die. Low, he's going to be grabbed here, doesn't have his ultimate saved. Jin Q bails him out. They're still going to go for this dive though. He gets enough to get off an Aphotic Shield to swap back in, but the Onslaught just drove right through all of them. And now they're grouped up as hell, and Quinn will claim some serious lives there with a swashbuckle.
Just lining them up. Ace knows his strength right now, knows that borrowed time was on cooldown. They're gonna find XM.
Hey, you can't be sticking around. You know Dyrachyo's gonna be hunting for more always now.
Might get a blink off here.
Yeah, there's a chance to get the distance. Tofu trying to get the vision. He is outside of sight. They're actually going to TP and try and sandwich him here. I think they know XM TP'd.
Yeah, they know. He went to that fight, so Dyrachyo's going to gamble on it, and he's going to find him again.
There he is, Dyrachyo. Fantastic read. There is another sprint coming up, but he's going to be running back into Tofu with the Inkswell, not even needing the explosion.
And Dyrachyo, he's just been a beast today, man. All over the place, controlling the map, the vision that kills, finding the stacks. 6 permanent Agi stacks. That is pretty damn good for this early in the game. He's giving so much space to his other cores as well.
It feels like Gaimin Gladiators are just reading your mind. They know every single move you're trying to make. They counter it appropriately.
Have to find some big Doom kills. I mean, XXS is just falling behind in XP. Like, this is a fight as Doom, and he's the lowest level on his team.
That's not right.
That's crazy. That's how much he got shut down in that laning phase. still level 9. Below both his supports. Which I guess is, you know, good for his supports.
Radiant structures are
A
fortified.
little sad for him.
He's working towards Octarine next. A little bit of a change in the build-up, but same old for old off-lane Doom.
Fight's coming.
Fight's coming, and it's going to come to the worst spot here. Doracio's going to scout a lot of the back line. That's a problem for Azure Ray. They actually wanted to go for a swap here underneath the tower with the Doom ready to go.
Again, the wards just see all. Gaimin know exactly where Azure Ray are right now.
They're going to just swap out.
Nice.
Hey, Tian Ming, how's it going? Hey there, bud.
He probably didn't feel like he was out of position, but
Radiant's
he was.
bottom tower is under attack.
And that's going to open up the fight. Doraccio gets free pokes now.
Yeah, no danger of a swap pushing him into the tier 3. Unless
build
Doraccio
that.
wants to go there himself willingly. He backs off instead, turning to the Doom. XXS hit by the pounce. The Phonic Shield can only do so much. The damage
Another
is
two-man shackle,
fully
but-
there, and they're going to get the Rolling Thunder that's going to chain up Xin-Q, no problem. In fact, dive in all the way into the tier 4s. Gaimin Gladiators making a statement here.
You can't stop him here. I mean, what are you doing in this series, right?
Swap back. This is an opportunity to get a pick off on one of these cores, but they can't quite do it. The Crush landing on a 2, but XM being burnt out. Ace is tanking these tier 4s, no problem, but they can't quite finish off any of these heroes. They need stuns. They need to keep these heroes inside of the base for a little bit longer
So
until the
tanky.
revives come in, until the TP comes out. But Gaimin Gladiators get away again. They cover themselves nicely.
Just 50 armor, 20 minutes in the game. I mean, what is your
And lo,
partner
he
doing?
doesn't have his ultimate back up. He could just die again. Fortunately, it gets up to the high ground here. Stelly with the freezing field. Doraccio jumping in with the Inkswell. That'll finish him off. The Vengeful Spirit.
This is disgusting. If you don't get a kill here, you
Okay,
have
you
to
got
find-
the Doom onto 1 here, but XM making a bad jump there. Could have gone the Crush onto the Slark, but instead they start backing away. But Ace, oh, the bowling ball ramming through Azure Ray. Time and time again. Gaimin
Buyback
Gladiators,
now.
are they going to lose anything
Oh.
for this?
Xin-Q found Doraccio.
Swap back in. Okay, they do manage to get something, and maybe the Primal Beast as
Another
well.
shackle.
Ace taking another shackle. Inkswell quickly removing that one. XM looking for more kills. He managed to get Doraccio, and he got Celery too. Dead to rights. Something to work with for Azure Ray.
My
As they
God.
were in danger of going 0-10 in that team fight.
Almost got him with the power shot. I mean, this just feels like Xin-Q versus the world, man. Like, he's having consistent impact in all these fights, but the 3 cores are struggling so much to find the damage. You're getting a Doom off. It eventually secures Doraccio, but this is after a base dive at 20 minutes that results in double buyback. Gaming are definitely not sad about this entire sequence. It just feels like you're already on the brink. We were talking about getting to the mid-game. I mean, there might not be a mid-game.
And who would be the second time in this series, the 4th time in this matchup at this tournament that would be the case. Gaimin Gladiators have managed to shut out Azure Ray every single time they play against each other. Blink Dagger now being done for the Pango. And that overextension into the base may slow down Gaimin Gladiators' momentum, may give a little bit of room to breathe for Azure Ray to come up with a better response.
I think Ace's itemization is just, it's way too good, right? It's way too good for this game. Like, with the Shiva's rush into the Ags, it does so much for his team. Now you're getting breaks through on a lot of the passives on this Azure Ray lineup. So much magical damage coming out that you're not going to have any debuff immunity for a long time, right? Maybe XM gets a BKB here, but you're not too scared of it. Low is just suffering. Like, you can't hit anything, you can't stick on anybody.
Yeah, both the Slardar and the Abaddon, in order to do damage, are reliant on attack speed. And the Tist Arm of the Frostbite and the slow, attack speed slow of the Shivas is debilitating.
You have Crystal Nova coming in on top of all of it as
Yeah.
well. There's a lot of attack speed slow just getting pounded into you. And
So until they have BKBs, that's going to continue. They're going to have a damage problem.
yeah, which means the spells need to make up for it. And so far, I mean, Xin-Q has landed every 2-man shackle. He has landed most of these power shots. The Dooms are going off on decent targets. What happens after that, right?
Yeah.
You gotta isolate targets. Aggressive swaps. You do have a level 2 Nether swap now. It's gonna make Tian Ming's life a lot easier. Maybe you can start off on somebody. You know, this aggressive swap in a Doom that we saw earlier, it's a bit more viable.
Yeah.
The smoke from Gaming, they are happy to take any fight right now. They have double Solar Crest to add more physical mitigation to the mix.
There's the swap back, but not the immediate Doom. A bungle there from Azure Ray. His XXS wasn't even close enough to start the cast animation.
And you're getting smoke flanked right now.
Yeah, they're going to get caught here. The Rolling Thunder immediately being used. Quinn knows all they have to do is catch up to Azure Ray, and they surely have some kills ready to go. And that's going to be XXS. He's going to be the target, silenced up, not able to make the run, and Tianming is going to die right next to him.
Failed gank turns into a successful one for Gaimin as they clean up the map, and more stacks for Dyrachyo. 11 Permanagi coming out here. Absolute menace.
This does give some time for XM though. He is closing in on that BKB. They also finished up the Octarine on the Doom before that death.
time is ticking, you know?
Yeah.
Is time good here? Is this the time you wanted?
Tower is under attack.
Time to check which seat you got on the flight home? I mean, this is a very one-sided series right now. Like, gotta put up a fight soon. Even just going into the next game, right? You do not want to get steamrolled 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Very hard to come back after that in a BO5.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Got to give yourself a little bit of hope. So this BKB timing of XM. They can reach one of those swap Doom plays. That's one hero, maybe dead. Then XM chases after another with his BKB. He might be able to lock down another hero.
I mean, the scary part is your gaming can also just farm.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think they're in too much of a rush, right? I think they're in a very comfortable position. They can just wait for the Harpoon on Dyrachyo, the BKB on Ace. They're clearing out way more of the map right now. That's where you're saying you have some time. The time is also ticking where if you're Azure Ray, you kind of have to go fight and reclaim some of this map. You got your BKB on XM and you got your Octarine on XXS. That's going to be the signal here. Also, full Shiva's done for Jin Q. I've always admired this player in terms of his unique itemization. It's just going to be a Shiva's Rush on the Wind Ranger. Trying to give an extra attack speed slow aura to their side for once.
The smoke running into Celery, not the ideal target, but it's something to work with here. But they are going to try and defend. Gaimin Gladiators, the BKB, an immediate back away. He's going to be grabbed, the 2 of them together. These 2 cores controlled while Dyrachyo, he's going to start making his way into that back line. Immediately popping his ultimate. He does not want to get doomed here. He's going to go for XM, and they've got him decently controlled. Quinn is going to look for more now. They've gotten 2 of the cores, and a 3rd is found on XXS. Stopped by Quinn. He's TP not complete.
Another disaster of a gank for Azure Ray. They cannot find an opening. You find an isolated Crystal Maiden. The back Celery gets 4-staff Solar off. That play is immediately gone. This is a 2,300 HP Crystal Maiden, by the way, which is
That's
an
something
abomination
else.
for
Yeah.
sure. I don't know if this should exist, but it does. The thing you have to deal with right now is the HP numbers are just through the roof. You just don't have the damage anymore. And this Abaddon pick has not worked out at any stage of this game for low. Creative, but a creative disaster here as Dyrachyo is going to jam in.
Oh no, Tianming! He may have saved his own life, but he is damn Jin Q in the process.
I don't know if Jin Q's too happy about that.
And the Harpoon, Tianming, he's just gonna die anyway. Low is gonna try and protect him with the Aphotic Shields, but Dyrachyo is ramping up way too much damage. Look at the stats build.
45 essence shift right now. If anything, he's saying thank you for helping me clear your base out faster. Disgusting tempo coming out in these games, and it's all off those little things in the laning phase that just build and build and build, and now you are in.
Yeah, who cares if you have the ultimate? That's just more time for Dyrachyo to steal stats from you. XXS controls up, the Soul Mind's gonna latch onto the event as well and pull them back in off that Primal Beast ultimate. That puts Low in a nasty spot where he's gonna die to Celery of all heroes. The 5 position even getting in the mix and killing the enemy carry. GG is all absolutely brutal. Gaimin Gladiators destroy